Malala came out guns blazing, saying that Raila and Uhuru ordered the match talked about 17 billion shillings diesel that Njeri claimed is hers. The UDA Secretary General claimed that 17 billion shillings was stolen by Uhuru's regime. And quoting verbatim, he was saying walichukua hiyo pesa na kununua mafuta kwa njia ya Njeri. Kwa hivyo wanatishia rais akubali mafuta yao. That at the center of the saga has been purported businesswoman Njeri, who from the onset claimed ownership of the 10,000 metric tons shipment valued at Kenya shillings 17 billion. 100 metric tons shipment valued at 17 billion shillings. So Malala claimed Raila worked in cohorts with former President Uhuru Kenyatta to procure the oil. And according to him, the Kenya shillings 17 billion involved were proceeds of grand theft in the sunset days of Uhuru's administration. Malala further asserted that Uhuru's reasons resurfacing in the public after months of absence was motivated by the emergence of the saga. He thus concluded that Raila and Uhuru were persons of interest in the oil drama. He further asserted that the handshake duo were out to monopolize the oil sector.
We already know your interest in that scandal. So wameanza kutisha rais. Ndio rais akubali mafuta yao hiyo ingie. Hiyo mafuta ikiingia, wagawane pesa zao zile ambazo walikuwa wamepora Kenya. 16.9 billion Kenya shillings. Yenye walitoa within 24 minutes. Mnakumbuka hiyo kitu? Sasa ndio hizi zinarudi Kenya. Sasa sisi si wajinga kama serikali. Ndio unaona vile tumefinya Njeri. Uhuru Kenyatta ameamka haraka, amekuja. So Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, you must declare your interests in this fuel scandal. Tangu lini Raila Odinga wewe unaanza kusema ati kampuni fulani ipewe tenda, kampuni fulani ipewe tenda? That is not your work. That is not the work of opposition. As government, kama serikali imesema ni government to government business na imeteua kampuni tatu, respect the decision of government. The contracts are in parliament. Unaweza enda kwa parliament uangalie contracts zile ambazo serikali imepeana. Na Saudi Arabia nao kama government pia nao wameteua kampuni ambazo zitafanya kazi na kampuni yetu. So tafadhali Raila Odinga, wewe concentrate na biashara yako ya gas. Ile gas. Najua Raila alikasirika kwa sababu wakati tuliingia tulipata yeye na Uhuru walikuwa wamepandisha bei ya gas. Walikuwa wamepandisha bei ya gas, hii ndogo ilikuwa karibu 3,000 shillings. Unakumbuka? Na ni kwa sababu yeye peke yake ndio ana produce gas. Yeye ndio anafanya biashara ya gas Kenya nzima. So vile rais aliingia akafungulia kampuni zingine zifanye gas sasa hii imerudi, bei ya gas imerudi chini. Hiyo ndio hasira ambayo Raila Odinga hako nayo.
Oh my God. Those accusations are very serious. They're very, very, very serious.
So according to what we are seeing there, and the way he's trying to link the return of Uhuru Kenyatta into the public limelight. First of all, are we sure that maybe that was just a one-time return of Uhuru Kenyatta and then arudi mitini? Unajua, like maybe you came because he had made a promise to do a contribution to that church he attended on Sunday on building that church. I think it's a promise he made maybe before I was before his term came to an end as a president. So we are not first sure if maybe Uhuru Kenyatta has made a permanent comeback into active politics. According to me, Malala is just trying to protect the image of the government because he has not even revealed the details, because there are other concerns maybe Raila raised kama who allowed those the ship who allowed the ship to into the country. Unajua vitu kama hizo hajajibu. He has not given details of maybe what he has not justified, like he has not explained some of the details, some of the misses that Raila pointed out in his expose. Or what do you think?
Exactly. I think what Cleopas Malala, Secretary General of UDA, is trying to do is just trying to protect his boss, protect their interests, and he's trying to skew what the media has as per what Raila released, the dossier and the analysis that he made as a result of that G2G oil scandal. So I think that what he's actually saying is that leave the government alone and let the government do its work. He's just trying to downplay what the opposition said, the opposition leader Raila Amolo Odinga said. But if you're to come to the forefront and tell Kenyans, that what Raila said is actually not true, there are some specific questions that Raila brought out. And he called out on the state agencies to ensure that they investigate and bring transparency into the G2G agreement between Kenya and Saudi and UAE. So I find these statements by Cleophas Malala very problematic as a national leader and as a Secretary General of UDA. I think he's not the right person to defend the government in this issue. I think probably maybe the statement about the government's play in this oil business should come from maybe the spokesman, and he should give us a detailed report on how this G2G business transpired so that the Kenyans can understand, because we cannot unhear what we heard from the Kenyan, from the opposition. Do you also remember about the finance bill? It was Raila Amolo Odinga who poked holes on that finance bill, and it became the biggest conversation. And it is as a result of poking holes in that document that the Kenya Kwanza government had to rework it again. So you see, public participation is very important, and this is something that the government needs to understand, that as Kenyans, we are no longer the Kenyans who just listen to what you're saying and swallow it. We will, we will take time to question, we will scrutinize what you're saying, we will ask questions. And there are people on the ground who are actually asking questions. Why is Malala talking like that? Why is he saying things like that? He should substantiate what he is actually saying. I mean, we do not want hearsay from a person like Cleophas Malala. If you are going to talk about that issue is something that is hurting us as Kenyans, because right now people are still complaining that the oil prices have gone up. People are still complaining that the cost of living is still up. People are asking the government to ensure that the cost of oil goes down. Now, if you just do it by 2 shillings, then it is not much that you're doing. Please do something about the cost of oil. Let it go down. And as per the questions that were asked, because opposition leader asked some very critical questions, and the government is evading these questions. The criteria on how this oil was procured, how the transaction began, where is this oil, who are the people, the key players. Yes, we need to know all that. How come we are hearing about this G2G agreement, then all of a sudden Njeri is coming to the forefront trying to fight for her oil? And then all of a sudden, Malala is trying to say that Njeri represents Raila and Uhuru. These are just baseless accusations. Please do not take us for a ride. We want a full explanation. Give us the documents. You are telling us the documents, the what are they called? The transactions, the contracts are in Parliament. Yes, the contracts are in Parliament. Give us the full details, the transactions that you've made. Give us the criteria. There's so much documentation that is involved in such a $1 billion transaction here. So do not take us for a ride.
I think
please.
the thing maybe the government will have done better was we see the same way Raila prepared a press briefing for that expose. The government should do a press not responding to Raila direct, other than maybe trying to speak on public rallies and public meetings. They should just prepare a proper a proper press briefing with the full details. Not just trying to cancel what Raila was saying, but trying to cancel what Raila was saying, but hauna facts, maybe hauna evidence, don't have solid evidence, you don't have anything to prove that what Raila said was wrong. You're just maybe you're trying to give your mind, you understand, trying to give your theory. I think they should, Malala should maybe organize, not even Malala, it's not in its capacity. Like President Ruto should prepare a press briefing, maybe even the government spokesman, and trying and counter what Raila says with the facts and details. And the comment section hapo tuko na, we have a comment from George Wandere anasema the problem with Kenyan leadership is that they are looking for recognition. They want the world to know that they exist, but what they forget is that the world has their own and it does not care much about you. They come to you when they want to use you for their gain. They say Africa is dark continent. That's very true.
Maybe if I can add something.
Okay.
The parliament, they usually have these committees whereby they question the CSS and they question the government personnel on their status of their docket that they were given. I think there is a parliamentary committee that has been organized to actually question this G2G agreement. And this G2G agreement, I think it's something that should have been taken to parliament even before the transaction took place, so that the parliamentarians or the committee that is involved to ensure that this transaction is as per the rule of law, it should have gone through, they should have passed through that test, going through parliament first, so as to ensure that what the government is actually doing with the taxpayers' money is right.
True.
But now we've heard that the parliament is actually planning to question the CS Chirchir, and Anjeri is also going before the parliamentarians committee to answer questions on the deal of the G2G. I think that will be the best thing. I think it will shed some light. It will bring out some of the things, the answers that we are looking for. And also to add on to that, I think the EACC should also do their due diligence, because there are so many corruption cases, and I'm still going to insist, President Ruto, you said that you are going to be hands-on in fighting corruption. And we still haven't seen that. I'm still referring to the Finland scandal. The Finland scandal. What have you done about it? You're the one who said that those who were implicated, if the EACC, has the EACC finished doing the investigation on that, the DCI, what have they done about it? Who are the people who are implicated in that scandal? What have you done to compensate the parents who paid millions and millions of shillings for their kids to go to Finland and start a new life or start their education there, or maybe jobs? What have you done about that? Secondly, barely a year has ended, a year has gone, and then this G2G agreement is being poked holes in between. It is sad to have a government that is being scrutinized day in, day out, because it seems like this government is treading on dangerous grounds, and Kenyans are watching. We are not saying that the people who are poking holes are perfect. We just want you to deliver the services that you said you would deliver. So the EACC and the DCI, they need to be, I think the parliament needs to ensure that the EACC and the DCI are stand-alone institutions. They are not in the pockets of the government, because if they are pocketed by the government, then then we have nothing.
Yeah, that is very true.